the first major of the season, the centerpiece of the World Series of Bowling here in Las Vegas. It's the PBA World Championship. But this isn't just an afternoon of bowling. Over the course of the next month, 16 players will battle in 4-man eliminator matches, trying to secure a spot in the January 15th PBA World Championship Final. Today, the first 4 competitors take to the lanes, but only one will move on. Can the lone American, Jack Jurek, survive against these 3 international invaders? The road to the PBA World Championship starts right now. Welcome to Las Vegas and step 1 on the path to the first major of the PBA season. Today from the South Point Casino and Exhibition Hall, ESPN presents the Don Carter division of the PBA World Championship. And one of these 4 will move on to January's final. From Lackawanna, New York, Jack the Ripper Jurek.
He's a 2-time Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award winner, and with 2 career titles, he proves that good guys do finish first.
The first of 2 Englishmen making their American TV debut. Welcome, Dom Barrett.
A lot of folks feel Dom is the best player Europe has to offer. His silky smooth timing and effortless power are proving to work here in the U.S. as well.
From Finland, he's seeking his 2nd PBA title, Osku, Palermaa.
His 2-handed technique takes power to a whole nother level, and he just may be the most athletic bowler in the world.
And the number 4 overall seed here at the PBA World Championship, the British Beefcake, Stuart Williams.
More European talent proving the rest of the world has caught up. He's won all over the world and now looking to win a major for the first time in the U.S.
And joining us throughout our PBA World Championship coverage, the reigning PBA World Champion, Chris Barnes. And welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Rob. We're going to bowl the Eliminator format today, and it's a format that I personally like. You get a chance to be on the lanes, and it rewards good bowling that consistently gets better. If there's a downfall, it would be the top seed doesn't get to bowl for the title automatically, but the top seeds are only 6 and 11 in the last 2 years, and Stuart, the top seed here, got to pick the Viper pattern for today's show.
And that is a big advantage, Chris. You get to pick the pattern you're most comfortable on. Here's how the Eliminator format works. All 4 bowlers on the lanes, essentially almost at the same time. The low score eliminated. They do it again in match number 2. Match number 3 will determine the one man who moves on to our World Championship final show in mid-January. And they are going to be bowling on the Viper oil pattern picked by your quote-unquote number 1 seed in this division, Stuart Williams.
37 feet in length, and it really lends itself to going straight and playing the outside part of the lane early on, something that Stuart Williams really likes to do.
Pry this one off.
Wow. You gotta love his nickname though, don't you? Beef Stew. Such a fun guy.
He puts a smile on my face whenever I see him. I'm not really sure what it is. He always has a good personality. His physique is somewhat humorous at times, and he's not afraid of it. He's just a wonderful human being. There's Osku Palermaa from Espoo, Finland. Another 2-handed bowler, a little heavy there. Stuart steps back up on the left.
Yeah, not only can he rev it up, but he can throw a spare shot really fast. I'm guessing around 28 miles an hour.
That's like blink of the eye fast, Randy. You turn around and it's gone. Here's Dom Barrett, native of Colchester, England. Qualified 12th overall. Again, we're down to 16. We started with 204. 16 left in contention for the first major of the year, the PBA World Championship. 4 of them on today's show in the Don Carter division. Next week, 4 more in the Billy Hardwick division. A little holiday break, and then the Petraglia and the Albee division will crown a champion to move him on to the PBA World Championship. Jack Jurek, his first effort.
Nice start for Jack. This should be fairly conducive for him. He likes to go a little straighter. Interesting to kind of get some feedback from Chris Barnes and how he thinks. Nice conversion on the washout there. But Chris Barnes, how do you think Osku Palermaa is going to fare on this Viper oil pattern? Seems to me that you want to go as straight as possible early on, but you know, you got a high rev guy like that. What do you think his chances are?
Yeah, Randy, I agree with you totally. That Stu really likes to throw it hard. Dom is a high-speed player. He likes it too. Osku and Belmo generally struggle more on the shorter patterns than they do on the longer patterns, where they can really use their rev rate to increase their carry angle.
And here is Palermaa on the left lane. Come on. Tough 4-10 split staring him down.
So, Chris, basically what you're saying is Osku wasn't looking forward to this oil pattern?
In years past, they really tried to favor, and they've moved towards the longer patterns and tried to stay away from these shorter ones. Belmo was the top seed in one of the brackets, and he picked the shark pattern. I think that's pretty telling. That being said, you made a great point. This guy is one of the most athletic, probably the most athletic body on the entire tour, and nobody can throw it harder than he can.
Throw it hard, but he missed hard there as well. An open frame from Osku in the second. Again, the low man in this opening match eliminated. Jurek working on a strike.
3-6-7-10 split.
Yeah. Just fucking let it go, Jack.
You've heard Jack say that before, just let it go, Jack. Last time I remember was, I believe, the USBC Masters when he lost to Tom Hess.
That incident, one of the many reasons why Jack is so well respected here on the tour, how well he handled himself in a difficult situation and helped his competitor to control his nerves.
Take the time, collect yourself real quick. Throw another shot. One more shot.
So what Jack said worked as Hess stepped back, dropped all 10, won his first tour title, and these guys they're a roving bowling community. They got to have each other's backs.
Sometimes it's a little dog eat dog. I mean, because everybody's trying to pay their bills. But at the same time, I think it's a really special, close-knit family, you know, because we all understand what each other's going through, you know, and we know how tough it is. We all got each other's back, I think.
You have to, with how difficult things are for these guys, town to town, and then succeeding until you get under the lights and leaving an open frame like Jurek just left there. Osku Palermaa up here in the third. Here's his spare shot. So he remains clean through three.
Randy, who did you see had the best look, and who do you think has the biggest advantage on this Viper pattern?
This man right here. He loves this oil pattern. That's why he picked it. I think it's well suited to what he likes to do. Now, if he can just figure out how to get that far right pin to go down, he'll be in good shape.
He mentioned to me down there earlier that this left lane was the tougher lane. For him, it was a little bit tighter down lane. It was a little bit harder to get it to go through the pins the right way, and it's turning out to be prophetic already.
Didn't like it. Right of target.
2-4-8-10 split.
Look out.
Air ball. Wow, I joined the club. Jesus.
Now the club is getting a lot of participants lately. Flashback last week at the WBT semifinal. Jason Belmonte going after the 10-pin with Move to the right lane. Sean Rash in the championship match against Mika Koivuniemi in the 9th. Ditto.
Well, about now, this is when Stu's happy that he's not the top seed bowling for the title against somebody who has 2 games in already.
Come on! Oh. God, you gotta be kidding me. Game effort. Leaves the 10 in another open frame.
Well, this is a perfect attempt, and he just gets a bad break when the 3-pin wraps around the 10. Or excuse me, the 2-pin wraps around the 10. That's just an awful break. That's the way you're supposed to shoot that.
Barrett, spare, strike, strike. And we're done through 3. One of these 4 will be eliminated. You'll find out with us when we return to Vegas.
Championship is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By Spiriva Handy Hailer. By Hammer Bowling. Nothing hits like a hammer. And by the USBC and its 2 million members. To find out more about USBC, log on to bowl.com today.
Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, Chris Barnes, welcoming you back to the 53rd edition of the PBA World Championship, coming to you this year from Las Vegas. Top 3 advance here in match number 1. Stuart Williams, the highest seed here today, number 4 overall, set to begin the 4th.
Nice shot there. This is the Don Carter division. The legendary Hall of Famer won the very first PBA National Championship back in 1960.
3 international players on today's show, 2 from England and 1 from Finland. Osku Palermaa, the Finnish representative. Spare, open frame spare, and there's his first strike coming in the 4th.
I think shooting that 3-pin was good for him. He finally got to throw the ball to the right and see it hook back, and that's the first one he's really let go and got it to about the 5th board where he can get it into the pocket.
Barrett with the strike. 3 in a row for Dom. Jack Jurek in the cellar right now has really kind of struggled to find his game this far, Randy.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why. I'm going to go to Chris with that in a second. Let's see this shot here.
No struggles there.
Yeah, that was a good shot. But Chris, why is Jack Jurek struggling so bad on this oil pattern?
You know, I think really Jack is just a confidence guy, and he's unfortunately a low confidence guy. If he had as much confidence as he had talent, he would have many more titles.
Some of the things I've put myself through, you know, just mentally. I've had so many chances to win events. Some things that were dreams. The feeling that winning a tournament gives you, especially when it's something you've just thought about all your life. The gratification you get, it's unbelievable how good it feels. And but at the same time, some of the chances that get away, they stay with you forever.
Things have a tough way of leaving the system in this sport. Jurek won the Shark Championship in 09-10. That ended the longest drought in between tour titles of 14 years and 175 days. We showed you earlier in the show he had that chance to win in Reno at the USBC Masters. He was the #1 seed and fell to Hess 25-14. Williams on the left lane, the strike.
Spare that single on the first shot.
There's his girlfriend, Tina. A beautiful smile from the young lady who lives in the Phoenix area right now. Osku Palermaa coming with nastiness.
And according to our Cats data, that shot of Stu's was his furthest one left on that left lane, and that's the only one that struck. So I might look to see more of that, where he moves his target in just a little bit into around the 15th board at the arrows, and tries to get a little more flush.
Barrett looking for a four-bagger.
A what?
I'm sorry, he's looking for a ham bone. I wonder if he has any clue what's going on right now. The ham bone music's playing. I'm yelling it. I don't believe we have the ham bone back in England.
Just bangers and mash.
There you go. A few pints as well. Jack Jurek. Come on.
I still think Jack's too far right. He needs to move in a bit.
Yeah, you know, I think you are right, Randy. Looking at the Cats set, he's further right than anyone else by about four boards, almost 5 boards. And
Osku drops them all.
with that guy right there throwing balls in the lane, that'll take away your hold in a hurry.
Yeah, anytime you follow somebody with an extreme high rev rate like that, Rob, they beat up the oil pattern so fast, and it happens in an instant, and you better be on top of it before the lanes start to break down. Make the move prior.
Well, it's going to be a theme as the PBA season moves on. We know some high rev rate guys, Sean Rash and Jason Belmonte, have qualified for a ton of shows already, and they're going to destroy the lanes. Or a strike for the beefcake.
That end-over-end roll with his hand up the back, he's really able to control the down lane reaction, keep that target in front of him. That's what he likes to see. And he's doing it very nicely right about now. Just 2 ringing 10s, first and third frame. He missed one of them, unfortunately, but other than that, every ball flush in the pocket.
2 open frames, 2 strikes, and a spare for Jurek. Boy, he is just not able to figure it out today.
He's got absolutely no chance from that line, Chris.
No, I completely agree. I think you're right on it. Everybody playing left of him, taking away his hold early. His shots really aren't that bad on the Cats, but he's got no room for error from there.
Barrett, error-free on that stroke. Jack steps up on the left to try and finish off this spare attempt in the 6th. Oh. It's painful to watch that happen to a guy as good as Jack Jurek.
Mom said that there'd be days like this.
That she did. And that day is upon him. You know already how much it means for all these guys, particularly Jack Jurek, to win out here, and the emotional toll on top of the physical beating you take. It's really hard to put in perspective. And we saw earlier Jack doing his best.
Well, you've noticed here in Stu's shot on the left lane, his 2 shots at rung 10 were up around 19.5 miles an hour. They got a little bit further behind the head pin. His last 4 shots, all of his strikes have been right at 19 miles an hour ball speed, and they've all struck.
Cats data provided by Kegel, the official training center of the PBA, located in Central Florida.
You know, Randy, I don't think Jack's really out of this. Osku has only hit the pocket 1 time. If Jack can put together 2 or 3 here, but I think you're right. I think he has to move. A pretty sizable move. How big a move do you think he needs to make?
He's got to move at least an arrow and a half left. I mean, he's got to get close to the 3rd arrow. Get right around 3rd arrow at 15 feet and feather it out to about 8, 9. But going straight, he's got no chance.
Osku had a spare in the 7th. He's waiting to step up as we watch the Ripper drop them all.
After 7th frame,
There you go, Randy. 4 boards left at the arrows. Right here, this one crosses right around the 11th board. He's been out around 6 or 7. He's still going to have to move deeper, but
Yeah.
now he's got a chance.
Yeah, he's got to keep going.
Osku on that left lane leads the 7.
And he just keeps moving deeper and deeper and deeper, and that one finally went past the headpin.
Stuart Williams from Ellesmere Port, Cheshire, England, his first American TV appearance. Will leave the 10. Fifth spare for Osku. Just 2 strikes. They both come on the left lane.
Randy, I think by watching Stu's last shot and Oscar's last shot that we're getting some push down the lane. Stuart's shots on the cats read almost perfect, and just didn't hook down lane.
Jack Jurek in deep right now, trailing the leader by 89, trailing third place, more importantly, by 24 pins. Needs to make up ground ASAP. Here he is in the 8th. Strike number 4, his first double. The Ripper is still alive.
Yeah, more better. He's migrating in. Exactly what we've been talking about. He's got to keep moving on that right lane, though. Meanwhile, we've forgotten all about
Exactly.
Don Barrett, who's gone spare 6-bagger. Hit it.
Come on. So 6 in a row comes to an end there for Barrett. He's in good shape to move on. Williams. Head down, a la Wes Malott. Good stroke.
I love that abbreviated follow-through.
I hate it.
You hate it? Why do you hate it?
There's nothing about... yeah, you're just cutting off every shot is what it looks like to me, but I tell you what, there's nobody in the world with that follow-through that throws it better than he does.
Back in the 80s, if you threw it like that, the ball would hook at your shoe and go in the left gutter.
And here's how Williams actually started in the sport.
I actually started quite late. I was 14 when I started. But my father and I used to play a summer game called bowls. It's like you play outdoors on grass. It's completely different. And we needed something to do in the winter, so a bowling centre opened quite close to us, so we went and started. And I went on from there, really.
Every great pro seems to have their own story on how they got involved in their sport and continue to excel in it. So Williams watches as Osku steps up on the right lane. Big strike for Osku. Jurek was kind of sitting there lurking in fourth, trying to leapfrog Palermaa, and there's a strike that'll make things that much more challenging for the American. Spare, 6-bagger spare, back on the strike train.
He really has a beautiful game. It just looks effortless. And that wrist snap at the bottom of the swing, man, he can put as much on it as he wants. But he really knows what he's doing out there.
Last 2 efforts for Jurek.
See the big move left.
He had to have that to get himself, or to give himself a chance. He could have cut into Osku's lead by down to 4. And again, he just didn't move far enough in. Remember, he went trip 4-7-10 the last shot on that right lane, and this time it's a 4-pin.
He needs somebody to hand deliver this one to him, otherwise he's out.
Yeah, he needs a little help from Osku right here. Williams and Barrett are too far ahead.
No help there.
Jack's day is going to come to an end.
Our 3 international bowlers will move on.
That was a pretty big move left, a little test shot there.
And Jack continuing to stare down the lanes. Hopefully he will not have to endure another long stretch in between PBA Tour titles. Palermaa in the 10th. He's already moving on. Williams, good cover. It's like a bowling ball convention over there on the ball return.
It's a lot of equipment for 4 guys, isn't it?
Lord, I mean, you really got to know. You got to know your gear
Look
very well. Look at this.
It's just, it is a bowling ball convention.
I tell you what, somebody over there had some sticky fingers. Yeah, this mine is rolled out. Somebody's not looking.
You could have a field day on eBay, huh?
Kidding me? This is great. For sale, Jack Jurek's ball. Williams, Palermaa, Barrett, essentially just rolling out right now, getting a further read of the lanes, doing some testing. Jack leaves the 7, or rather the 10. It's been that kind of day for Jack.
Running out of time for these things.
Here, running out of time. That career, who knows how much time he has left in it. But he's still excelling at a high level. But Jack Jurek done today in Las Vegas. When we return, the all-international match 2. Big Stu Williams still seeking his first PBA Tour title. To Las Vegas, and here's your numbers from match number 1. Jack Jurek, the low man at 169, and he is eliminated. Match number 2, the all-European version, coming up next. And today's division of the PBA World Championship, named for one of the founding members of the PBA, the legendary Don Carter. With his unorthodox style, Carter dominated professional bowling in the 1950s and the early 60s. Carter won 7 PBA titles, 5 of which were majors, including the inaugural PBA National Championship, which is now known as the event we're at today, the PBA World Championship. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, back here with you. Don Carter, a guy you know awfully well.
Yeah, Don Carter is a true gentleman. I've had the honor to play some golf with him when I used to live in South Florida. I did all of my practicing at a center named after Don. I know his wife Paula, who's just one of the most wonderful people you'll ever meet. His son Jimmy is a proprietor about 20 minutes from where we live now in Central Florida. Just a wonderful man, and obviously a Hall of Famer who had a stellar career in bowling.
Let's talk about match number 1 and how it leads into match number 2. Stuart Williams had the selection of the oil pattern, but it's the other Englishman you think who may be in the best position.
Well, yeah, I mean, Stuart got to pick this oil pattern, and Don Barrett just steps up and shoots 257 and really flew under the radar. He looks like he has the best ball reaction, obviously by the score. This might be the guy to beat.
Well, this just leg 1 of the PBA World Championship, the Billy Hardwick division, next Sunday. How about we kick off the new year with the Johnny Petraglia division? PD Dub, Pete Weber, and Sean Rash will be there. Jason Belmonte, Michael Fagan also will be making an appearance a little bit later as we continue our drive towards the World Championship.
And you know what was synonymous with all 3 of those names? All Triple Crown winners.
As is Chris Barnes, who's joining us in the booth for our coverage here. Stuart Williams leaving the 10 on his first effort.
Oh, that was bad.
Williams had a 215, second highest score in match 1. Don Barrett, a 257, and that man, Osku Palermaa, the 187.
How do you like that shot?
Only 4 strikes for Osku, 1 double in match number 1. Williams drops the spare.
It's obvious that Osku has the worst ball reaction of the 3 remaining players. Right now he's trying to figure out a way. Watching Don Barrett You would think he would try to get somewhere close to that. The problem, though, is his rev rate and ball speed aren't anywhere close to what Dom Barrett is doing. He's got more speed, a much higher rev rate. Tough to get the same type of look. But there's no doubt about it that Dom Barrett's look is probably the best right now.
Oh, dear. Williams, his effort in the second.
Oh, great break. Sweet.
Sarcasm. I can understand it across the pond.
A particular strength of Stu's.
Sarcasm?
Yes.
Oh, we all got to play to our strengths, right, Chris?
Absolutely.
Osku, the number 5 overall seed. Yeah, late kick of the 10.
That is a flat 10 for, well, everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, I may have left the 8 with it.
Nice pickup, spare to start match 2 for Williams. Time now for the fast, safe pain relief replay brought to you by the makers of Barrett Advanced Aspirin.
Turned that little bit of a bad break and knocking the 6-pin out of the middle into a non-event. He actually picked up an extra pin account out of it, and now it looks a lot better.
Fellow Englishman Dom Barrett steps up. Saw him knock back a banana there during the break. Get that potassium level back up. Fires another strike. He had 8 in match 1, including a 6-bagger. Drops an opening double here in match 2.
Hard to believe that he was in a four-wheeler accident 7-8 months ago and actually broke his back. And his back playing at this kind of level.
Amazing he's able to even compete. Think about what he went through. Here's his good buddy Williams, and Williams leaves the 10, and Big Stu waxing here on his good friend, almost his brother, Dom Barrett.
I guess we're like brothers. We're not like one minute we like each other, the next minute we want to have a fight with each other. Not fisticuffs, but you know, he's almost the most argumentative person that I've ever met. He'll tell me one thing's white when it's clearly black, and vice versa. But we have a good time with it. So
there is Barrett taking a seat. It's good to have a brotherly type friendship when you're on the road as much as these guys are. Palermaa in the 3rd on the right lane leaves the 10-pin.
Back-to-back pocket hits. Looks like he may have found something, Chris.
Yeah, I think you're right. The biggest difference between this arena and downstairs at the bowling center is that the track looks so much more in the bowling center. These guys with the higher rev rates could get further left fast, and the ball would automatically pick up when it got between 8 and 12 down lane. Here in the arena, it's not picking up. Not enough oil in the middle of the lane at the beginning for Osku's ball to push across, but there's enough play now where it's starting to look like he can use a little more angle and not go by the headpin.
All the qualifying took place in the bowling center. This essentially a made-for-TV location right now, so these guys trying to adjust their game to this new environment. Smooth sounding roll.
Okay. Dom Barrett using a different ball in the left lane. Really good shot right here. You see the ball just inside 3rd arrow, out to about the 8th board. Not the result he was hoping for, but a pocket hit nonetheless. And right now, pocket hits are good.
Three down, 7 to go. Stuart Williams in last. Top 2 move on to the title match here in the Don Carter division. Dom Barrett has been lights out. 2 strikes here in match number 2 already. PBA.com is your place to download PBA Bowling 2 for your mobile device. The revised and updated game for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry features enhanced 3D graphics and allows you to bowl alongside your favorite PBA stars in multiple venues. And Randy, it also lets you choose a variety of special settings. Simply click on the PBA Bowling 2 link at PBA.com. We take a look at our scoreboard here in match number 2. Barrett on top. 9 pins better than Palermaa and Stuart Williams in third. 12 behind your leader. Top 2 move on to the title match today. The winner of that match will move on to January's PBA World Championship show.
7-10 split.
Well, Osku, Palerma's ball reaction went from non-existent to pretty good. All in a matter of one game.
Head down, 10 pin. Will not get the kick towards the 7. Open frame for Stuart in the 4th.
Yeah, Randy, I think you can see the lanes transitioning. The amount of overall hook hasn't changed a lot, but the hook is now in the front, and that oil is pushed down lane, and everyone's having a hard time getting their ball to go through the pins. Even Osku has almost left a flat 10.
This guy is dialed in today, huh?
Yeah, Dom's ball reaction is sick. He's making great shots. A little bit of pin carry is all he's looking for now because he has absolutely no trouble hitting the pocket.
Jason Belmonte and Osku, to an extent, have kind of dominated the international conversation in the PBA over the last couple years. But boy, if we start seeing more of Dom Barrett, he's going to be a guy that you're going to have to start talking about more. Ditto Williams. Interesting style and approach. But he's making some noise here in Vegas. We'll see him a little bit later this season on the World Series of Bowling coverage. Ditto with Barrett. Well, Chris Barnes, you didn't fancy Osku's chances coming into this match. What is different in his game that is elevating him right now?
Well, he's moved quite a bit further left now in the lane. He's using one of the balls that's more rolly for him. It reads the mid lane a little bit better, and he's using more angle through the front, giving a little more left to right. And now he's able to use his rev rate to carry, and that's where Stu is getting hurt right now.
I think the biggie is that there's oil that's moved down the lane, which has now actually created hold or push to get his ball to move right. Once it gets to the right, he's got so much hand and so many revs, it's got no problem getting back to the pocket.
You see the two shots here. The right lane is the brown line. The left lane is the blue line. Able to get it further right on that right lane. A little more direct on that left lane, a little tighter. That's what we heard from the players in practice, and that seems to be one of Dom's keys to success.
Stuart in last. Needed that one. Trying to climb up into second. Don't need to win, you just need to be in the top 2 to bowl again.
He's going to have to figure out a way to strike on that left lane. 3 straight flat 10s. What's your move in that situation, Randy?
Well, I think if it were me, I'd try to get a little more on it or just get a little softer.
Third strike on the left lane there for Osku.
I don't think he wants to move right and go straighter because then I think he runs the risk of going through the face.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Softer's not really his favorite thing either, so I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to get on it a little bit more and try and make it strike from there.
Barrett continues his mastery here today. It's 3 in a row. Had an opening His girlfriend Tina, well aware that the beefcake is in a little bit of trouble right now.
Well, you heard him say dead. That's usually not a good thing to tell yourself when you're trying to self-motivate and get back into this match. He does not like this left lane. Stu Williams is in big trouble. Osku looks like he's got a pretty nice line to the pocket. Now he's moved way in. He's opening it up using his rev and power and speed. Although, maybe not.
3, 4, 6, 7.
Really one of the few ways to give Stu some hope here. Still going to have a pretty good lead, but it's going to be down to around 20 if he doesn't make this.
Cuts right through the face, leaving the
3, 4, 6, 7.
Oh, it's terrible.
Ugh.
Yeah, missed left of target, had no chance of holding off.
Tough one for Barrett. Another challenging effort here as well. This time will be Palermaa, the Finnish international, stepping up on the right lane. Left a lot of meat on that bone. Williams needing an opening, and perhaps he may be seeing it right now. Barrett, open frame. Let's see what Stuart, the highest seed here today, the number 4 overall seed, can do. And you see the hole he's in right now, 16 pins behind Palermaa. Almost a Brooklyn.
Oh, Randy, and that's the problem with getting more on it, is you run the risk of your ball hooking early and never getting to that spot to the right.
Yeah, it's almost like he needs to make a ball change now to have any chance.
Mate, it's spare. Come on.
2. Spare for Williams.
Yeah, and the problem with the ball change is you have to make a guess, and you don't get a lineup frame.
Yeah.
Has to be right.
Last 2 frames for Osku, open spare.
Stuart Williams has 1 strike in this entire game.
Came in the 6th frame.
Come on. You might as well let go of it this time. It's now or never.
It's now. It's now. Tina trying to help
He's not
the
out of
man
it.
get back into it.
Yeah, he's not out of it, Rob.
Barrett. Direct approach. Drops the 10.
So there's something there. No good on
18 pins right now, separating Williams and Palermaa.
He didn't so much move there, but by the cat's data, he just amped that one up. Another half a mile an hour faster than the last frame, and just made it stay there.
back 3.
If Stuart Williams strikes out in the 10th frame, he'll force Osku to get the first strike in the 10th.
seen a whole lot of messenger action today.
All right. Come on, one good one. Just you feed this right. Oof. My God, I almost pulled the switch grip out of it.
That means he didn't let go of his thumb, Rob.
I was able to figure that one out.
he kind of gave that the claw, maybe the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. In any event, he grabbed it pretty good at the bottom, made the ball check early and go through the nose and pretty much end any hopes or chances of him advancing.
That was a little test shot there from Barrett.
D-U-N done.
Say bye to Big Ben Parliament.
So Williams done. Palermaa will move on to take on Barrett. The winner of that one will move on to the World Championship show.
Osku, Palermaa, and Don Barrett have advanced. Stuart Williams has been eliminated.
Osku goes backstage to try and sort them things out. And Barrett keeps on dropping the pins. Stuart, time to pack your bags. Osku, Barrett for the right to represent at the PBA World Championship Finals in mid-January.
To the first step on the road to the first major title of the season, the Don Carter division of the PBA World Championship. We're at the South Point Casino and Exhibition Hall here in beautiful, spectacular Las Vegas. PBA spending a lot of time here this season with the World Series of Bowling, as well as the upcoming USBC Masters in January and the season-ending Tournament of Champions in April. Stuart Williams only managing a 170 in match 2, so he will watch from the sidelines as his good buddy Don Barrett takes on Osku Palermaa for this week's only ticket to the January 15 PBA World Championship Final. Time now for today's More of What Matters to You fan question, brought to you by the makers of One A Day Men's Pro Edge. Comes your way from Alan Cook in Washington, and Randy with the question.
Thanks, Rob. And Dom, the question is, what did you do to prepare yourself for the grueling World Series of Bowling schedule?
You know, I actually wasn't into the TOC yet, so instead of just being away from home for 3 weeks, I took another week and went and spent some time in Reno and won my first regional. So that took a bit of pressure off going into this tournament, knowing that I was already there. But you know, you have to bowl to prepare yourself. You have to have match fitness as well as practice, and that's basically what I did.
And so what strategy are you going to take into this final match against Osku?
You know, Osku burns the lane up a lot. I bowled against him a lot over in Europe, and for me, I just need to be a little bit left of him, left of his burn that he puts in the fronts, and just try and get my ball to go through the pins the right way.
Thanks, Tom. Good luck.
Thanks.
Two gentlemen very familiar with each other all the time. They spend bowling across the globe. Don Barrett, in his first American televised appearance, is on the verge of moving on at the PBA World Series of Bowling.
American Jack Jurek and Englishman Stuart Williams have been eliminated from the first step on the road to this season's PBA World Championship. Now Finland's two-handed powerhouse, Osku Palermaa, takes on fellow European Tour star Don Barrett for the first of 4 spots at the January 15th PBA World Championship Final. It's Finland versus England here in Las Vegas. Who will survive?
Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, Chris Barnes, welcoming you back to our continuing coverage here of the World Series of Bowling. Today, it's the Don Carter division of the PBA World Championship. Final match of the day. The winner will move on and make the final 4 of the finals round in mid-January. Don Barrett from Colchester, England, starting strong with the strike.
Chris Barnes, I thought it was very interesting when asked about his strategy for this finals match. Dom said the strategy was to try to stay left of Osku.
That's a great strategy. It's just hard to do. Osku's rev rate's so high, and he's using a pretty strong ball. He gets in there way deep, but Dom does it a lot. He bowled against Osku a lot in Europe, and I think he's figured out that's the best way to give him a chance.
Take a look now at the arsenal that Palermaa has with him. Prodigy, Nomad, Dagger, but right now he's throwing the high road on a hook rating scale of 1 to 10. That checks in at a 7. He also has Natural Grenade in his bag with him as he gets set for his next shot, courtesy of the high road. Another strike for the Finnish international.
Well, Randy, after a couple of 188, 187, and Dom with a 258, and then another big game in game 2, you would think Dom would be the big favorite here, but Osku looks like he's coming alive.
You stop. All right, well.
Barrett had the high score in both match 1 and match 2, a 257, followed that with a 201.
Great look at the rhythm and motion of Dom, one of the smoothest, most fluid games out here on any tour. Randy, Dom seems like he's the prohibitive favorite here with the two big games, and Osku shot 188, 187. Who do you like here in this match, though?
Well, I'm going to go with Dom Barrett. I just think that he's got the better reaction using two different balls. I think he's got a really nice blueprint.
And he's 3 for 3 to start off, too.
And quite honestly, Rob, Chris, I don't think Osku has really proven anything to us yet today. He's just kind of eked by in every match.
Again, eliminator format. You don't need to win. You just need to get there. But I agree.
Understand.
He has not been spectacular.
But now you
need to show up.
Yeah. Have the lanes changed enough to suit his game? Have they changed enough for this high-powered two-handed style?
Three, 4, 6, 10.
One, here you go once again. Crosses in around the 23rd board. He needs to get out around the 20th, 21st board. That's where he was at last game. Too far inside the target, and that rev rate just does not allow that down lane oil to hold it back.
Oh, what a pickup. Barrett thought he may have had that first opening here, and Osku not letting him through the door.
You know, but in a way it is kind of an opening, because not only does he lose a little bit of count, but it's not like he just left a solid 10 or a stone 9. He went through the face.
Yeah, it's a great point. Now he's got to make some kind of adjustment. It's in the back of your mind. You know you either have to make the ball get to the right or you have to make a big move, but it's not a certainty what the next shot on that lane is going to do.
Oh, come on. Boy, that 9-pin was thinking about it.
See that hand snap around the back of that bowling ball, and on a rev rate of over 650 RPMs, I think that leaving a solid 9 is not surprising. Surprising for my rev rate, Rob, and yours, not for Osku's.
Understood. Back-to-back spares for Osku. And Dom Barrett not alone in thinking that Osku has some Rain Man-like capabilities.
One of the freaks of bowling. I've grown up playing against him, you know, every week on the European tour, and now over here in the States as well. And you know, this is a little while ago. We had a situation. We were in Vienna, and when you bowl qualifying, you change lanes. And if you're on the right lane, you bowl on the pass. If you're on the right lane, you go right, and the left lane, you go left. And he walks over to me and says, he's on lane 6. What lane are you on? And I said, like 27. He goes, okay, see you game 4. he sees numbers. He doesn't see what everyone else sees, that's for sure. He's like the Matrix, got numbers in front of him, so in his face.
Breaking out 2 movie references in one bowling show, Matrix and Rain Man. That's tough. Here is Barrett on the right. His first American television appearance.
Come on.
Left the 6-10 there, a win here, and he'll move on to the PBA World Championship Finals, the first major of the season. And you'll see it Sunday, January 15th here on ESPN.
Chris, does Catch show you whether or not that shot there was left of target?
It was left of target. It showed only a board inside of target, but it was a little bit slow too. So combination of the two, plus it looks like the lanes are they're still breaking down.
Take a look at Dom Barrett's arsenal. He's going with Victory Road Pearl on the left lane, but he's also using a Marvel Pearl on the right lane.
Nine pin?
Yeah, back-to-back 9 pins on that left lane for Osku and Dom Barrett.
Yeah, Randy, basically these guys have made the same 2 shots back-to-back. They both went really high on the right lane. They've both seemed just a little bit more hook on the left lane for 9 pins. Dom has, Osku basically has survived one moment in this match where Dom could have put his foot down on his throat and put the title well in his hands.
Opening 3-bagger. Since then, it's been spare for Barrett. More bowling coming your way next Sunday here at 1 p.m. Eastern. Brian Schaefer cranks it your way. Ditto for Tom Smallwood in that unique style that he has. 2 international players will be there as well. Andres Gomez, and say hello to the Venezuelan Ildemaro Ruiz, making his first PBA televised appearance next Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, here on ESPN. His lead at 12. Osku on the right lane, which has been problematic for him. Did get a strike there in the first frame, but had to really elevate his game for a big pickup in the third. Here he is in the 5th. So strike after 2 consecutive spares, and here's the Finnish international on the allure of the mental aspect of this game.
When I'm going to do something, I want to do it good. And, well, in bowling, you just can never be perfect. And you have to develop and adjust all the time. That's what intrigues me.
Always a challenge for the pros out here as we take a look at this match through 5. Osku down a dozen.
Well, that was about a 2-board move left at the arrows. Like you talked about, Randy made a pretty big move there, and that one paid off. Gives him a chance to stay in the match.
Well, he wanted that one for sure. He made a pretty good shot there, only to leave a massive ring in 10. Watch this. Look at that hand snap around. Remember, his thumb is not in the ball, throwing with 2 hands. That's how he's able to create so many revolutions. Remember, when you don't use your thumb, in order to hold on to the bowling ball, you have to cup your wrist, and in order to let go of it, you have to uncup your wrist. And that's the action that puts revolutions on a bowling ball. It's kind of like throwing a yo-yo. The faster, the harder you snap that wrist, the more revs you put on it. Chris Barnes, myself, we do it with our thumb in. Osku does it without his thumb. Jason Belmonte the same way. And 2 hands. Guess what? They rev it a lot more than we do.
So back-to-back 9 spares on that left lane for Osku. Barrett on the right lane right now, looking for his 4th strike. Will not find it.
Boy, this is big trouble on 2 counts here. He loses pin count, and with the open, basically loses the lead unless he can find a way to make this 4-7-10.
Not too far off.
Last couple of shots on that right lane have gone high. He's got to make a big adjustment to find pocket again. He's now trailing for the first time in this match. It's only 2 pins, but the big question mark is, what's he going to do the next time he's back up on the right lane?
He had the lead after 5. It has evaporated, down 2, as we begin the 7th, trying to get his game back after that open frame.
It's a pretty big psychological thing, too, don't you think, Randy? It's he hasn't trailed anybody in any of the 3 games.
Yeah, he's been in cruise control the whole day, and now he looks or appears to have lost the right lane, and now he's lost carry on the left lane. Remember, solid 9 the last time on this lane. Right now is where you have to dig down deep, lace up your shoes, tighten up your belt, and just bring it.
Got any more analogies for me?
Take off the gloves.
Nice.
Pedal to the metal. Take scissors to your fingers.
What's he doing there? Cutting some calluses?
Yeah. Maybe trimming new skin or trimming some calluses. Maybe he has some cut patch on that finger. Starts to shred after a while. You just kind of trim it off.
Osku with the 2-pin lead.
Wow.
Again, a messenger failing to deliver.
Fast and in front of the 10-pin. Well, you better be athletic to pull this off, and then the head pin, like you said, Chris, comes flying across. 1-pin match if he converts.
Read into that spare shot what you will.
Can you imagine if he hit you with that bowling ball?
No, I don't have a cat system like Chris does, but I have the Rob Stone system, and that was, according to my system, an angry ball.
That's not even full speed.
No, he can throw it harder than that. What do you think he maxes out at, Chris, miles per hour?
Right at about 30.
Yeah. Think about it. 15, 16-pound bowling ball at 30 miles an hour.
I choose not to. Pain. 1 pin separating them. 3 frames to go.
That might turn out to be the break of the match. Errant shot goes Brooklyn, but 10's 10.
Two great shots in a row on this left lane, and then the worst one of the entire game, and he finally gets a strike.
And a big break in the 8th.
See what kind of adjustment Dom makes here on the right lane.
Wow.
It looked like he moved farther left, but at the bottom of the swing, it looked like he totally wrenched on that shot, making it hook up high and going through the nose. Should have only been a 4-pin. Instead, it's a 4-6 split. Couldn't have happened at a worse time.
Come on. Let's go.
Now in big trouble for the first time.
44. First time on that lane.
Had the lead when we were done with 5. Lost it in the 6th. Still doesn't have it as we approach the foundation frame. 9th. 2 of his last 3 frames have been open.
And strikeout for 210. Osku's going at a 204 pace, meaning if he goes spare strike the rest of the way.
It's gone.
Psych.
He has lost it. Only 3 strikes here, and they were an opening 3-bagger. Since then, a whole lot of struggling in Osku. Yeah.
Gift wrapped. Chris, it looks like the high rev rate of Osku finally caught up to Dom Barrett.
He actually stuck to a strategy, and he did what he, according to the CAT system, he's been 2 to 3 boards inside of Osku the whole time. But the irony is, even though he keeps moving, his ball won't stop hooking. He keeps going high, keeps leaving splits, and not able to catch up to it.
Back-to-back jacks, strike number 5. And Osku out ready to book a ticket for the PBA World Championship final show, and he has. That is done. He is moving on. Sunday, January 15th. Needs just 6 pins. I'm in the generous holiday mood. I'm gonna give it to him. And Palermaa on the verge of being the first of 4 finalists for our first major of the year, the PBA World Championship. Next week, it's the Billy Hardwick division. Tom Smallwood, Andres Gomez, Ildemaro Ruiz, Ryan Schaefer in action. And that's all she wrote. So Barrett done. Osku moves on to bowl again. And we'll hear from the Finnish International when our coverage of the World Series of Bowling from Las Vegas rolls on. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Welcome back inside the South Point Casino and Exhibition Hall. Folks trying to get lucky here in Vegas. Osku Palermaa was the one who cashed in today here at the PBA World Championship. Down Carter Division. Match number 1, the lone American in the 4-man field, Jack Jurek. Didn't have his game today. 169 to the showers for you. Match number 2, Stuart Williams, open frame in the 4th and the 10th, 170, not nearly enough, gone. So our divisional final, Osku Palermaa started off with a double. Dom Barrett, great start, and then things fell apart. Palermaa saved his best for last, 6 strikes, his high score of the afternoon at 223. He moves on, and he's with Randy.
Osku, let's go back to game 1. Honestly, what did you think your chances were of winning this match?
I don't know. Well, this format, I'm kind of against it because you can bowl not too good and end up winning it like I did, 180, 180 to 20, but I'll take it.
Well, wasn't it more conditional oriented, though? I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Viper's not your favorite oil pattern?
Actually, for some reason, I like it for a while, every now and then, but today it changed dramatically fast. It was a little different than practice yesterday, and as the numbers say, Dom had 251s, but otherwise they were brutal, especially the right lane, so have to get a lot out of it.
Congratulations. He's now got a 1 in 4 chance of winning his first major, Rob.
That is right, and we will see him Sunday, January 15th, right here in Vegas for the finals of the PBA World Championship. Saved his best for last. Who's going to join Osku? Smallwood, Ruiz, Gomez, Schaefer. Find out next Sunday, 1 Eastern here on ESPN. For Randy Peterson, Chris Barnes, and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. Osku Palermaa moves on. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.